Hello people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Minalkhona. We have started with a series of tallyprime, and today we are going to see how do you record vouchers and what are the features which are available on the vouchers. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. In the last session, we have seen how do you record vouchers of receipt and purchase of stock. If you have not seen that video, the link is in the description box. So today we are going to see how do you record purchase of services. Now, the previous transactions which I have recorded, if I have to view those transactions, I have a simple option. I can go to my day book. I can open my day book for the full year. So from 1st April, so if I just write 1st April to 31st of March, I will be able to see all transactions recorded during that period. So I have recorded a receipt and purchase of stock. Now I want to record a purchase of service. Now, can I record this purchase of service from this screen? So we have also discussed shortcuts which we can use on tallyprime. So Alt A is a shortcut and I can see my purchase voucher. So on the left hand side, you can check this is a purchase voucher. Now I want to record purchase of services, but here I see name of item. Control H will help you change the mode of your voucher. So if you're recording purchase of stock, you will require item invoice. And if you want to record purchase of services, you will have to use accounting invoice. As voucher means if you want to use this voucher on a double entry mode. Now I'm going to change this to accounting invoice. What is the service which I'm going to purchase? So I can see here financial leasing services, expenses availed from Ronit Roy Leasing Company, 2,50,000. All right. Now, the first thing on your voucher was to change the mode of your voucher by clicking on Control H. F2 is to change the date. So I can change the date by clicking on F2. Supplier invoice number. You are recording a purchase. You would have some documentation, that is a bill, to record this purchase. All right. Now, what is the party's name? The party's name is Ronit Roy Leasing Company. Now here I cannot see Ronit Roy, correct? Now, Ronit Roy Leasing Company, this is a creditor which needs to be created from this screen. What options do I have? One option is I can go to the create option on the top and I can create a new ledger. The next option is I can click on Alt C. This is a shortcut which will help me create a creditor or any ledger across tallyprime. Now, Ronit Roy Leasing Company is a creditor. All right. Maintain bill to bill should always be yes. I can give a credit period of 30 days. Now, where is Ronit Roy registered? Now, if I say he is registered in Maharashtra, I can select Maharashtra, and because your company is registered in Maharashtra and where your creditor is registered is very important from the point of view of GST. So whether this is an intrastate transaction or an interstate transaction, to understand that, this particular information would be very important. What kind of assessee is this? Regular. If registered under GST as a regular party, I have to choose regular. Unregistered if not registered under GST. It cannot be a consumer because we are purchasing and this is a creditor, and a composition dealer. There are two types under which you can get registered under GST, which is regular and composition. So here I'm keeping this as regular and I'm saving this information by using the shortcut Control A. Here I can see the receipt details. All right, so I have no receipt details for the services. Party details would be the details which you have just feed it in while creation of the creditor. Now, what are the services which you are purchasing? Financial leasing services. Now, I can see here financial leasing services. I want to check whether this is GST enabled services and what kind of GST. Is it inter or intra? What is the nature of transaction? To find that out, I'll have to alter the financial leasing services ledger. The shortcut to alter is Control Enter. And I can check what kind of services are this. These are purchase taxable at 18%, meaning these are intra-state transaction. All right, 2,50,000. Now here, this is an intra-state transaction. So input CGST and input SGST would be applicable and it should get calculated automatically. If it does not get calculated automatically, meaning you have missed out something. All right, if I want to view the GST analysis report, I can click on Alt A and Alt F1, which will help me view the GST tax analysis report. So here, 2,50,000 is the taxable value, and on that 45,000 is the GST. All right, click enter, and this is a new reference because you are booking an entry. Now, if I want to repeat the narration, I can click on Control R, and you will be able to repeat the narration. Whatever narration you have written in the last voucher, you will be able to repeat it here. Now, I'm saving this entry. Now, the next transaction which I'm seeing is transportation services availed from Mr. Pendekar. Now, here I have written RCM, reverse charge mechanism. You have purchased some transportation services from Mr. Pendekar, but these services are subject to reverse charge mechanism. How do you record an entry for reverse charge mechanism? Now, for the first time right now, we are going to see it on the purchase voucher, and later we would record this on a journal voucher and we are going to analyze the change. So today we are going to record this on purchase voucher. All right, now I'm on the purchase voucher and I want to record an entry subject to RCM, wherein the receiver of the services has to pay the GST directly to the government instead of paying it to the creditor. All right, so F2 is to change the date. I can change the date through F2. Here is my supplier invoice number. The party is Mr. Pendekar. All right, now I can't see Mr. Pendekar being created. All right, now we know the shortcut. How do you create a new ledger? That is Alt C. I want to create Mr. Pendekar. All right, Mr. Pendekar is already created. All right, let's see how it was created. By clicking on Control Enter. All right, here I can see unregistered. Now, because this is a party which is unregistered, the receiver of the services is responsible to pay GST directly to the government because the receiver is registered here and the supplier of the services is unregistered. All right, let's go ahead and let's see. Now, what are the services which you are going to you're purchasing transportation services. Now, transportation services is not created. So let's quickly create transportation services by using a shortcut. Transportation services are now indirect expenses. All right. Now, is GST applicable? So I would say yes, GST is applicable. Now, this GST is subject to reverse charge mechanism. If this is an intra-state transaction, I'll have to select purchase taxable. And if this is not, then I can select, I have several options. Interstate, purchase taxable. With respect to that, I have several options here, which we have discussed. Now, the rate I'm going to consider is 18%. Now, one very important thing is you are told here that this particular services is subject to reverse charge mechanism. You will have to click on F12 on this screen. When you click on F12, the first thing is HSN. I will require a HSN or a SAC detail, right? Now, these are services. So, I require services accounting code. Now, enable reverse charge calculation. So, I will have to enable RCM or reverse charge mechanism here. Now, the minute you accept, you are going to see this change in the screen. All right, let's quickly see. Now, is reverse charge applicable? So you are going to say, yes, reverse charge is applicable and the rate is 18%. When you say reverse charge is applicable, meaning the purchaser is purchasing some kind of goods or services from an unregistered party. Now, what are the services value which you are purchasing? The value is 5 lakhs. All right. Now, do I need to add GST ledgers here? So no, you don't need to add GST ledgers here. The minute you said that the party was unregistered and the services were subject to RCM, the tallyprime system has automatically calculated the RCM for you. So we will record RCM, start adjustment entry on a later date, but at present, tallyprime has already calculated the RCM amount for you. Now, how do you check that? Check your GST analysis report. Alt A, Alt F1. Now here I can see purchase taxable 5 lakhs, that is a taxable value, and the GST which is calculated is 45,000 and 45,000. And at the bottom you can see here amount of tax is subject to reverse charge. So 90,000 is the tax which is calculated by the system for us. So I don't need to add GST ledgers here. I just have to say new reference and you will have to give the narration. And the entry is complete. So this is a very important point as per GST, which you should know. All right, now here we have seen how do you record a receipt. What are the several options which you have on your receipt voucher? After this, we were seeing purchases. Now, purchases of stock and purchases of services. You have noticed the change in both the kind of vouchers. You were using the same purchase voucher, but there were several options which were unique, which were different. Similarly, on every voucher, you're going to find some screen which is different or some features or options which are different. And that is what is the important and the learning point, because every industry is different. According to your business transactions, you will have to select your options and go ahead with your accounting. Now, the next entry which we are going to see is the sales of stock. Let's check and let's go ahead. All right. So If I come back to gateway of tally, can I go by voucher? So yes, you can go by voucher. What if I want to see the purchase entries at one go? So to see all my purchase entries in the purchase register, I can go on gateway of tally, display more reports, account books, purchase register. So here you are going to see purchase register, and you will be able to see all the entries which you have recorded. Can you add from the screen? Yes. If you click on Alt A, and you will be able to add new vouchers even on this screen. If you want to delete any entry, Alt D is the option to delete any entry. And if you want to duplicate any entry, Alt 2 is the option to duplicate an entry. Now, here I can see all the registers: purchase register, sale register, receipts register. We have recorded entries in the receipts register. So one entry I can see in my receipts register. All right. I'm coming back to my gateway of tally, and I'm going to vouchers. Now, F8 is for sales. So if I click on F8, I can see the sales voucher. Now, name of the item. If you're supplying goods, you will require name of the item. And if you are supplying services, you will require the accounting invoice. How do you change it? Control H, and I can change the voucher mode. Now, these options are similar in the purchase voucher and sales voucher. So many of the options which you are going to see on the purchase voucher, you are going to see similar options or features on the sale voucher. Now, the first thing which we are going to do is to change the date. So I can change the date by clicking on F2. Now, I want to record sales to Haldiram and Sons. Now, before I record the sale, I can see that the voucher number is 1. The system is not allowing me to change the voucher number. So if you have to change the voucher number, how do you do that? For that, you will have to come back to gateway of tally. Now on gateway of tally, you will have to go to alter, voucher type, sales. So we are changing something, altering something on voucher type sales. The fourth option I can see is method of voucher numbering. So that is automatic at present, and I'm going to change it to automatic manual override. So automatically the system is going to take the voucher numbering, but if required, I can manually override the automation. Prevent duplicates. So I'm going to say yes, do prevent the duplicates, and control A. All right. What happens if I go back to my voucher? Now here you can see either I can go ahead with the system generated voucher number, or I can feed in the voucher number as per my requirement. So I'm going to change the voucher number. Now, what are you supplying? You're supplying to Haldiram and Sons a certain stock for certain quantity and rate. All right, let's record Haldiram and Sons. Now, when you record Haldiram and Sons, 1, you should know whether it is an intrastate transaction or an interstate transaction. Your entry with GST would be debtors account debit to sales to output GST. Now, if this is intrastate, you would say output CGST and output SGST would be credited. And if this is a interstate transaction, then output IGST would get affected. All right, here I can see the dispatch details. So I can write down the dispatch details here. If I have any, dispatched through destination, who is the transporter, motor vehicle number. Now, this party is registered in Maharashtra. So from my party details, I can see that the party is registered in Maharashtra. meaning this is a intra-sales transaction. All right, in that case, I'm going to select intra-sales. Now, what are you supplying? So you are supplying carpets for 450 into 4,500. 450 is the quantity for 4,500. Rugs for 300 into 3,700. And curtains at the rate 1,700. Now, if you have to add one more item, you're going to click enter and you can add one more stock item. If you have to create a new stock item, Alt C is the option to create a new stock item. And now if you want to come out from the item mode to services mode, click one more enter because now I have to add GST ledgers. So the GST which will get affected is output CGST and output SGST. Now you have to be very careful about inputs and outputs. Inputs affect your purchases, outputs affect your sales. If you have electronic way bill details, you can say a yes, and otherwise I can say a no. This option we have discussed in detail in our previous videos, so you can go back and you can view the videos which are very much in detail. If you're wanting to see any particular options, in that case you can comment. Now being sales. All right, so my entry is complete. All right, now before I complete this entry, I want to see the GST analysis report. What is the option here? So like I said, whatever options you are seeing on the purchases voucher, the similar kind of options you're going to see on the sales voucher. So I can click on Alt A and Alt F1. The same option will also work on the sales voucher. If I click on escape, do I have any other option? Yes, Control O, GST tax analysis, and you will be able to see the same kind of report. If you click on Alt F5 or Alt F1, both the options will work to see the detailed analysis report. So what is the GST with rate and what are the amounts which are calculated on the taxable value? You can analyze from here. So in this way, you have recorded the first sales entry. All right, it is asking us, do you want to send voucher details for e-way bill generation? So we are going to say no, but if e-way bill generation is your requirement, say a yes. Now, the next transaction is a interstate transaction, wherein output IGST should get affected. Sales to Gorilla Industries Private Limited. Now, I can change the voucher number here. So I'm going to change the voucher number here. F2 is to change the date. So if you require to change the date, you can change the date from here. Now, the party is Gorilla Industries Private Limited. I can feed in the dispatch details here. This party is from Gujarat. You are registered in Maharashtra. You're supplying goods to Gujarat, meaning this is an interstate transaction. What is the stock which you are supplying? So let's see what are the stock which is being supplied at the rate 4,700. Rugs 402 at the rate 3,900. And curtains now one more enter and one more enter will bring you to service mode. Now, I said that if this is an interstate transaction, output IGST should get affected. Now let's select output IGST. Automatically, it should get calculated. If it does not get calculated automatically, do go back and analyze how you have created your ledgers. You may have made some mistake while creation of some of your ledgers. All right. Now, if I want to see the analysis report here, so IGST is calculated. So 5%, 12%, and 18%. I can see integrated tax is calculated. And your entry is complete. This is a new reference and being sales made. If you have to check the report, you can check the report in the accounts books, and you have all the different vouchers registers which you can check from there, and otherwise you can use the shortcut Alt G. Sales register, and I can view what are the entries which I have recorded. If I want to view all the entries at one go, I can view it on daybook by using a shortcut by being on the screen, which is Alt G again. And you want to go to daybook, open your daybook for the period, and you will be able to see all the entries which you have recorded. So we have been exploring every voucher in detail. If you want to delete, insert, I can do this here. I have discussed all the shortcuts in one of my videos of shortcuts on tallyprime. Right. Okay. So we have seen here more on tallyprime vouchers. Now there are many more interesting features which are available on the vouchers, which we will be exploring in the coming sessions. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. If you have any special recommendations or any specific points which you want me to cover, please do comment. Thank you so much.